Welcome to another installment of Mediation at the Moment. Today, we're going to discuss the different approaches to mediation. Joining us, I have two amazing experts that are going to share their thoughts on mediation. We have with us here today, Tenolo and Stephen. Let's hear from Tenolo, who has mediated in conflict across the continent for the past 10 years. Go ahead.
Well, we need to remember that mediation can take several different formats depending on the conflict, the outcome desired by parties, the motivation between the parties and the mediators, the local environment and the international environment, as well as several other factors.
It's very interesting. Now let's hear from Stephen. What are your thoughts?
To add to what Tinelo is saying, until recently, the international mediation has been dominated by the powerful nations such as the United States, which have strong leverage. And it often pushes or rewards to force the parties to end violence and reach settlement. But as the nature and dimension of conflicts change, this approach is considered by many to be problematic.
It's very interesting, but why is it problematic?
It has been considered problematic because if you look at the mediation since the Second World War, it has been since as the central way to resolve conflict, but it has largely failed. It has failed to give people ownership over mediation processes. Agreement made don't last.
Tenolo, would you like to expand?
Well, David, we could call this a power approach. The United Nations and other states would rather use a problem-solving approach, which focuses on the needs and interests of political elites, as well as groups that are fighting governments. It aims to achieve a win-win solution through compromises such as power sharing. One problem with it is that it gives limited attention to the needs and interests of the people involved within the communities. And it treats conflicts as incompatibilities, of which where individual leaders have to come to a resolution to end the violence quickly by getting these individuals to accept the relative views.
So it seems that mediation doesn't always achieve the desired outcomes. Where does this leave us?
Exactly, David. There have been calls for transformation approach to mediation, which refers to the relationship-centered approach to mediation, including narrative mediation and transitional justice mediation. These approaches generally centralize the people and the experience of everyone affected by a conflict rather than the elite. They move beyond finding quick fixes to address the structural and the cultural root of the problem, of the violence, I meant to say, and to build sustainable peace. These approaches are commonly found at the grassroots level in the intervention by the development NGOs, religions, organizations, and the community leaders using the indigenous processes.
That's really interesting. Tenolo, what are your thoughts?
In essence, mediation is rarely a straightforward business. Depending on the situation, more than one approach may be used during the mediation process.
Well, thank you for your contribution and your time. That's it from us here at Mediation at the Moment. To both of my guests, thanks once again.
Thank you for having us.